I want to welcome Josh Poticha, the owner and operator of Bricks Corner, a new restaurant in ELPCO, to ask him a couple of questions about his new food offering, which is going to be pretty exciting, I think, for a lot of our residents. So Josh, you originally came from South Carolina, but you've been living in Utah for a couple of years now. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I came out to Utah about 6 years ago for a trip to Snowbird. Fell in love with the mountains, the lifestyle, the city. Couldn't believe that I could fly in from the East Coast, be on the most epic mountain in the world, and then come back down and see a concert and get a great meal in a beautiful city the same day. Unbelievable.
Wow. So Salt Lake City captured you. And so you decided about a year or two ago to see if you could open a restaurant here. And how did you find the location? What was that like?
So I about 4 years ago, I moved into the Sugar House area, and I just started venturing around, and it reminded me growing up in Chicago. I grew up in Wrigleyville, and we would walk to just neighborhood pizzerias and little bistros and cafes all the time. And I felt that there was a true need for more of that in the Sugar House and this whole area of Salt Lake City. And my wheels just started spinning in my mind, and I kept my eye open, and soon enough I did find a location on 700 that I just fell in love with, and I thought it would make the perfect location for a neighborhood restaurant pizzeria. And then I got the building, and then the plans began, and I designed the whole building. I was able to work with an architect that allowed me to do the design from beginning to end and put it together, and then work with the city of Salt Lake to make my dream come true.
And I'm seeing in the background, I see garage doors. Is that right? That the building has garage doors that can open and perhaps allow people to have a little bit of fresh air as they eat when it gets a little warmer?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have 3 bay doors. The building was actually in the early 40s was a service station. And after that, it changed hands a few times for different service stations. And then it became Liberty Park Emporium. So it was an antique store, but they always kept the bay doors on the front of the building, which really added to the character of the building and the neighborhood. So I definitely wanted to incorporate that into my design. And what I really spent a lot of time with the city of Salt Lake was trying to get a patio, and a patio that would be user-friendly, all season long. And we were able to construct a beautiful patio. It's insulated from floor to ceiling and has radiant heaters, 150,000 BTUs of heating out there. Some days it's been in the low 20s outside, and it's averaging about 65 in the patio. Huh. So in the summertime and spring, we look forward to being able to roll the windows up and then pop the doors up. And the whole design of the building is it's an open floor plan, so you can get the indoor-outdoor ambiance really with the garage doors, the big bay doors.
Wow, so kind of a walkable neighborhood restaurant with some great al fresco outdoor dining options.
Absolutely.
That sounds very appetizing, but there's probably even more appetizing stuff about your restaurant. So I want to ask Nancy Phillip, our 9th and 9th business liaison, to kind of delve into your menu in this interesting thing called Detroit-style pizza.
Yes, so Josh, I'm curious about your menu items and the pizza that you create there in your restaurant. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Thanks, Nancy. So growing up in Chicago, we're used to deep dish pizza. We love our deep dish, thick pizza, heavy toppings, thick sauce, cheese on the bottom. But the Chicago style pizza that I grew up with was a little bit different than more authentic style pizza. And when I decided to open a pizzeria, I actually did a lot of research. And I worked with a chef in Chicago who is a deep dish expert pizza chef, Leo Spizzeri. And I worked with him to come up with my recipe, and it kind of changed into Detroit style, but it's also kind of a morph between the 2 styles of pizza. So the toppings lean more towards Chicago style, but the actual dough and the crust leans more towards Detroit style. I serve it it's a rectangle pizza, hence the name Bricks. And the name Bricks Corner represents the best part of the pizza is the corner of the pizza, as well as it's a corner building But by creating a rectangle pizza, I could add a lot of culinary flair to the pizza that in a traditional large deep dish round pizza you just don't get away with the way you would with a Detroit style pizza. So the dough is super crispy on the bottom. It goes through, it's a 24-hour aging process. I struggled after I built the building to get the dough to cooperate the way I wanted it to. And I was talking with Chef Leo in Chicago, and we were just scratching our heads like, what's going on here? So we did an experiment where we took some water and I changed the pH and the mineral content of it, and I matched it to the water back in the Midwest. And it worked. So what I ended up doing is I ran a full reverse osmosis system in the kitchen. It's up in the ceiling. It goes through 5 filters, and then it goes to a spout right to the mixer. So the water that's coming out of there is literally Michigan, Chicago water. I mean, just right out of the tap into this beautiful giant mixer that I got in Pennsylvania and drove across the country to get it out here. Yeah, so the pizza is it's unique, it's different, and it's a lot of heart goes into making this product.
That's fantastic. And I hope you captured the Michigan humidity in the
Yes,
process.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we need a little humidity here for sure. So
So
in the
Josh,
yeah.
tell us about the pizza. Sounds amazing. Tell us about other menu items that you have.
Okay, so the menu, I have different appetizers. So our mozzarella sticks, we hand bread the mozzarella. They're the size of butter sticks. We use a fresh house-made garlic crouton with it. We add grated Parmesan when they're done. And I know it just sounds like mozzarella sticks, but it does not come out of a bag. I mean, everything in this place is scratch made. My background is a chef. I went to culinary school back in the day. I worked as an executive chef for Marriott, and our salad dressings are everything is made in-house. So we have a wedge salad, but people have been commenting it's more like a Cobb salad, just with the way the bacon is presented, and then the chopped egg, and then we take tomatoes and Bermuda onions. We toss them with a house vinaigrette and put them on top. We do roasted Brussels sprouts and butternut squash as an appetizer, and we serve that in a iron skillet similar to a fajita. So when it hits the pan, it's sizzling, and I make a whiskey honey glaze that goes on that from the High West Distillery whiskey, and you hit it to the iron and it starts sizzling, and we bring it out to the table, and it's absolutely delicious. And then we do a burger. It's a simple burger. We allocate a really incredible sirloin for that, and it's a double stack burger. We take onions and we caramelize them for about 4 to 6 hours until the natural sugars just really explode from them and they truly caramelize. And then we put a layer of that down, and then I put a Calabrian chili sauce on. And Calabrian is a chili from Italy, and I make an aioli with that Calabrian chili, and we put that on the burger, and then we melt it with thick cut American cheese on a brioche bun, and it's simply delightful. So there are a lot of different options. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. I think I'm hungry.
Yeah.
So a couple questions just about your restaurant. So tell us your hours of operation and then your price points.
Okay, so the hours of operation are, we open at 12 noon every day, and we close at 9 p.m. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and then 10 p.m. Wednesday through Saturday. What was the other question?
Just your price points.
Oh, price point. Yeah. So the pizzas range, a cheese pizza is $13, and they go up to 16 or 17, depending on the toppings you put on them. A pizza will feed 2, sometimes 3 people. There's 6 slices, but they're really large slices, and it's deep dish. So it's a pretty hefty meal. The sandwiches, $11 to $12. Salads, side salad, $6, and a large salad is 12 to 13, and then depends if you put a protein on it or not.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Josh, I just wanted to ask a question about how folks can get this food, this amazing food you just described. I presume you do dine in, but do you do order out as well? Can people go to your website or Facebook page and take care of that?
Okay, so we designed this building. We started construction in February. It was really interesting. And then COVID started, and I was faced with a really difficult decision whether to move forward or not. But I was too deep into this project to back out. So we moved forward, and we actually did a lot of things during the construction with COVID in mind. So we actually added an extra bathroom. We enlarged the host area for carryout service. We put in UV sterilization into the HVAC system, insulated and heated the patio. So the dining is, everything's spaced correctly. We're following all the protocols from the health department on that. So we do have limited dining. And then as for ordering to go, everything is scratch made, and I'm running a limited kitchen. I do not want to overload my kitchen with having too many employees on top of each other. So we don't make mass quantities of food. And unfortunately, we can't take the hundreds of orders that sometimes have been coming in to the restaurant actually on Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and we have to turn away a lot of pizza. So what we did is we implemented our online ordering, which you can go to the website, which is brickscornerslc.com, and you can do online ordering, and that then breaks up the ordering into increments of time. That way the food, when it hits the kitchen, is spaced out correctly throughout the evening. Everybody is getting the food directly when it leaves the oven and is delivered right to the patron's hands when they walk in the door. But that also limits the amount of food that I can give out. So if you do try to order and you see that it's not available for the day, like today, for instance, it's completely sold out through most of up till tomorrow actually. And we don't take in the phone orders because we only produce so much pizza, and we want to be able to still accommodate the guests who walk into the restaurant. You know, throughout the weekend we almost sold 1,000 pizzas, and it's way more than the volume that we can handle. So we're trying to limit it down, and it also allows the patron, when they come, they're not on top of each other in the host area. It's timed, so there's minutes in between. So it's a timeless system. When you walk in, you can get your pizza and leave, and there'll be a minute or two before somebody else is actually walking in the door to accommodate social distancing the best we can.
It sounds like quite a system, and we appreciate the efforts you're taking to keep your staff and the residents here as safe as possible. But also sounds like you got a hot commodity. A lot of people are interested in your pizza. So maybe without Sundance this year, people will be able to devote their time and energy to figuring out how to get your pizza and use it instead of getting Sundance tickets. So it'll be a good challenge. Well, thank you, Josh, for telling us all about Bricks Corner. We're really glad to have you here in ELPCO. And just to repeat, you're at 1465. Is it South 700 East? Is that right?
That's correct, yes.
Right. The nearest cross street, is it Emerson? Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. So really walkable to a lot of our neighborhoods here, and we appreciate all the detail you've taken. As a former Midwesterner myself, I might stop by just to grab some of that Michigan, Chicago water, because I miss it,
Absolutely.
All that in a bottle, right?
Yeah.
So.
And I'm always open to comments. If anybody would like to email me, they can email me directly at brickson700@gmail. I try to respond to every single customer that has any suggestions or anything they'd like to discuss.
Well, thank you for taking the time to introduce your restaurant and all the thought you put into it. And we look forward to showing up and having some pizza, and especially as the weather gets warmer and the pandemic goes away, to really enjoy it to its full extent. So
look forward to serving you. Thank you very much.